Hello, and thank you for watching. This is a short tutorial video, a how-to video on using the SpiraLife Pro. Just a little introduction here. The SpiraLife Pro is the larger countertop version of our original SpiraLife. The original one is this little handheld device, which you can find on our website, lifestyledynamics.com. And they are both very good tools. This one is great because you can store the handheld version in a drawer, and it's very easy to use. This video is not about this one, but just so you know, you do have an option. And we do have other videos on our website about the handheld device, where you take your veggie and you simply twist it through kind of like an old pencil sharpener. And it comes with a cleaning brush and a pushing tool to push the vegetable through, and of course a nice little storage bag. So we always keep one of those in our drawer at home. We have an apartment in the city, so it's nice for storage purposes, and we will usually take that with us when we travel. But let's talk more about the SpiraLife Pro in this video and all of the features and exactly how to use this tool. Here is the SpiraLife Pro, and let me go through the features of this tool and all of its components. So first of all, as you can see, it's a traditional tabletop spiralizer. And when I say traditional, all that means is as opposed to the handheld version, which is we call that the handheld style. So this is the tabletop version. And some of the benefits of this one are, it comes with 3 different blades. So I'll go ahead and take them out. And we'll talk about each one here. And these blades are nice because they actually store inside the body of the spiralizer, the SpiraLife. And then this is the third one. So when you take this out of the box, you will see that one of these 3 blades will already be in the carriage, and then the other 2 will be stored down here. When you first take it out of the box, the blades will be covered with a thin layer of plastic, protective plastic. So very gently just peel those off. Be very, very careful. These are extremely sharp. One little poke of your finger and you could cut yourself. So I cannot stress that enough, to be very careful with this tool. So this blade here just has one straight blade, and that's for creating ribbons. So when you cut like a zucchini or a cucumber or something like that, it'll just cut a thick ribbon about I guess that's about 2.5 inches wide by, as you can, I don't know if the camera can pick that up, the thickness there looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Whereas these ones will actually cut into spaghetti type noodles. So you've got thin noodles and slightly thicker spaghetti noodles on that one. So that's really the different blade types. Okay, so I'm going to put these ones back. Actually, why don't we leave this one, the thick noodles, out, and we'll use this one as a demonstration. So we'll put these 2 back, and they kind of just snap in place. And you want to put that tab in first. Sorry, I'm looking at it upside down so I can let the camera film it. So those just snap in place, and they will not fall out. And that keeps the blades away from your fingers. The third blade insert you want to keep in the carriage, and it just snaps in place there, and that's how you would swap those out. So before we get into using this, I want to further explain its different features. This is the cranking handle, and you would use that once you insert your vegetable in the carriage here, which we'll show you in a minute. So this is a typical zucchini, and we would just cut the ends off so that it fits on there a little snug. And I'll show you that in a second. So that handle helps you to spin it through against the blades, and that's what gives you the noodles. This other handle here folds up, and that's really just for guiding. I'm going to spin this around, so if I were actually using it, how I would use it. So I would hold the pivoting handle here with my left hand because I'm right-handed, and I would take my right hand on this one and I would crank the vegetable through. Now, as you notice, this thing is moving all around, which can be dangerous. So what we've also included on this is a suction cup right here on the bottom, and that suction cup is very strong, One word of advice is you want to make sure that it's on a countertop that is very smooth. So a lot of us like to cut our vegetables, spiralize our vegetables on a nice, let me get this out of the way, on a nice cutting board or something like that, and that's great. The only issue with that is that because this has a sort of a porous, rough texture for cutting, the suction cup might not stick very well to that. So what I usually do is I will put the cutting board on the end where the vegetables will come out, and then on the back side, just switch this lever over, and let me spin around so you can see exactly how that looks. Right there. So spin that lever over and push it down. It takes some resistance, and now as you can see, it is on there. It is stuck. I mean, I cannot move this thing. I mean, I'm sure if I really, really tried, I could. The surface has to be very smooth and clean and dry. If it's not clean, if it's not smooth, if it's not dry, it probably won't stick very well, because that's just how suction cups work. So that's how that works. And then to undo it, you just twist it counterclockwise. So let's just try it from this angle. And I would just go ahead and snap it down. And then, whoops, I did it wrong. There you go. That's how not to do it, because I had this edge up. Again, I'm looking at it from the top so the camera can get a good view. So make sure that it's flush. Snap that down, make sure it's secure. And then you can just put your cutting board under there. And then now we can go ahead and spiralize our vegetable through there. So that's how the suction cup works, and that's a neat feature of this SpiraLife Pro. Okay, let's talk about storage, and then we'll go into the actual cutting, because I want to keep it clean for you as long as I can. This is easily taken apart. The actual pushing tool itself simply slides out of the back, and that's as far as this particular part will break down without, I mean, I suppose if you really wanted to save space, you could get a screwdriver, and there's 4 screws, but I don't recommend that. So that part comes out for cleaning. And of course, you can pop the blade out of the top just like that. And as we already showed you, you can pull these blades out. So we'll just do that again. So you could throw everything in the dishwasher if you wanted to. You could also clean them by hand. However, very important word of advice here, I would never recommend using a sponge or some kind of a rag to clean these, because you do not want your fingers anywhere near those blades as you're cleaning them. So what we would do is I would just use one of those, I forgot to bring one here on the example or on the video, I apologize. But you know, just one of those small kitchen brushes. So it's got bristles on one end and a handle, and then you just kind of very gently brush that underwater. You very rarely even need soap. I suppose if you're doing very orange carrots or very red beets, that juice could get in here, and you'd want to use a little soap, but you don't really have to scrub. The only time you'd have to scrub at this is if you didn't wash it or rinse it right away. And of course that material, the vegetables, would get caked on there. So use a scrub brush, or just throw it in the dishwasher. And then this carriage here actually pops off as well for storage. And you simply hold it in place with one hand and pop this button in, push that button in, and then this will just pop right out, okay? If you have any trouble, you don't have 3 hands, you can't hold it and pull it and push the button at the same time, well, just put it on a flat surface. You can go ahead and go ahead and attach the suction cup, and then that gives you a bit more sturdy surface, and then you can pull it out like that. So now that's pretty much as far as you're going to break it down for cleaning. Take that suction cup away. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. You can put those various pieces in the dishwasher, or you can stack it however you like for storage. Typically what we do is we will put one blade in the carriage, and of course we'll put the other 2 blades safely in their storage slots. Right, so they're nice and tight. And then we will always store it with the blade face down so that nobody can cut themselves. And then you can just pop this whole unit into a drawer if you have a big enough drawer, or you can stack it whatever way is easy for you. This folds up so it'll take up a little bit less space, probably something like that, and put it into a cupboard. So that's pretty much all you need to know about how this thing works. And just for fun, let's go ahead and spiralize a cucumber. So I'm going to take this blade out, spin that around, and this is going to be a little awkward because I'm standing behind it with the camera here, so I'm going to try to do it backwards, but what the heck. I'm going to take out one of our blades. How about the thick spaghetti blade, or thick pasta, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if technically that is spaghetti. You know, every pasta has a very specific definition. I don't want to offend anyone by using the wrong terms. Okay, let's get it positioned in front of the camera. Great, then I will lock this down. Ugh, nice and tight. We'll stick our blade insert in the carriage. Now, one thing I recommend, again, this pushing tool just slides right in there. It doesn't snap or anything like that. One thing I recommend in terms of preparing the vegetable is, so in this case we're using a zucchini. I would always cut off the both ends, so you want a flat surface, and that just makes it a little easier to secure it to the SpiraLife. So we would always, what I usually do is I try to center it. You can see there's a little circular blade there. Just try to center it onto that blade first, and then center it as evenly as possible in the center of those spikes. And that's about it. We can set those aside. We'll put our cutting board there, and I can use my little handle now and simply push it on through. And there it goes. Look at that, super easy, really smooth. It takes about, depending on how much force you want to put in there, it takes about 30 seconds to spiralize an entire cucumber. So we'll just go ahead and do the whole thing. Or zucchini, this is a zucchini. Chelsea really likes cucumber salads. She doesn't like lettuce or spinach or kale. So we'll get our greens, our superfood greens from powders like wheatgrass powder or other superfood powders. And then we will take our, for our salads, we'll just use cucumbers. Look at this, this is really interesting. When you're done, the kids would probably love to play with this and eat it. Look at that, this is fun. So this is basically just the part that went through the middle. We can just eat it. I'll take a bite right now. Mmm, yummy. All right, so now you've got this pile of zucchini noodles, or zoodles as people like to call them. All right, so that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions at all on any of our tools, please contact us at info@lifestyledynamics.com. That's info@lifestyledynamics.com. We're here to help. Thanks.